Welcome back to Startup Hack. All right, let's dive into this one today. Did you know that software developers actually sometimes complain about their jobs? I know, it's a great profession to have, and I love having been a software developer for 25 years. But honestly, I got to let you in on a little hint here. Software developers are a spoiled bunch, right? And remember, I'm the one saying this, and so I'm pointing at myself. But let's talk about some of the complaints that we as software developers have. Now, again, I get it. These are definitely third world problems, but things that really genuinely frustrate software developers and sometimes even make them want to pull their hair out. So let's talk about some of these today as we dive into some of these, and some of these you might find amusing, but we'll find out. All right, welcome back to Startup Hack. I'm Spencer Thomason, and here at Startup Hack, we love to train software developers in our licensed coding bootcamp and to build custom software solutions for companies. So I do a lot of work as a fractional CTO. With over a decade of executive leadership and a solid 25 years in software development, I've mastered the art of transforming technology, teams, and products. All right, let's go into some of the first complaints that we have here. So first up, let's talk about the bane of every software developer's existence: unclear project requirements. Nothing frustrates a developer more than getting half-baked, vague project details that sound like, well, we need like something cool, you know? Can you figure that out? You sure? Yeah, sure. Let me just pull out my magic wand. Developers thrive on precision, and the lack of clarity can lead to a mess of confusion, delays, and bugs down the line. So when expectations are not well defined, devs are stuck playing a guessing game, one where everyone loses. So trust me, this one drives people up the wall. So lack of clarity and requirements is one of the first one. Now let's hit the next one. Next is a hidden monster: tech debt, or technical debt. This is when you cut corners in a project to save time, but oh boy, does it come back with a vengeance. It's like putting duct tape on your car's engine and expecting it to run smoothly long term. Developers have to spend countless hours managing or cleaning up this technical debt, which eats into time they could spend actually developing cool new features. So yeah, if you want to see a developer snap, just say, we'll fix it later. Technical debt is a total time bomb. All right. Now, let's talk about something that almost every developer has nightmares about: unrealistic deadlines. Why do people think that developers have superhuman coding speed? Building great software can take time. It takes creativity and problem solving, not just brute type speed. So when management promises something that can be delivered in 2 weeks without consulting the dev team, they're essentially asking for the impossible. And developers are left scrambling, working late nights, weekends, and wondering how they'll end up here. I had a non-technical manager one time who used to just tell me, well, can't you just do this? And his just was usually like months worth of work. So unrealistic deadlines kind of go on top of some of the unrealistic expectations. Now, let's get into the next one. You ever try coding on a machine that was slow when you bought it 5 years ago? It's like trying to race a bicycle on the highway. Poor tools, lack of licenses for necessary software, and generally outdated infrastructure not only slows down productivity, but they make developers wonder if their time and talents are even valued. And when you can't get the tools you need, well, it feels like you're coding with one hand tied behind your back. So inadequate tools and inadequate resources are another one. Now, hey, if your company has some systems that aren't well connected, let us help you here at Startup Hack. Our specialty is connecting systems to help your company work like a well-oiled machine. So check out startuphack.com/Spencer, or hit me up at spencer@startuphack.com and we can help you out. All right. Now, nothing says frustration like being halfway through building a feature and suddenly the priority shifts. Oh, we need you to drop that feature and focus on this new shiny thing. Now, as a manager, I've definitely been guilty of this at times, right? But this constant change not only leads to half-finished projects, but also causes developers to lose motivation. There's nothing more demoralizing than spending days or weeks on a project only for it to be shelved or shifted to the back burner. Developers aren't against adapting, but we at least finish the one thing we started on first? So constantly changing priorities is another complaint we hear. Now, ever been stuck waiting for a response from another team while your project is on a complete standstill? Yeah, it's painful. When marketing, sales, or even design teams don't communicate well with development, it's a disaster waiting to happen. Developers end up in the dark, waiting to guess what needs to be built, while the other department think the dev team is dragging their feet. Clear communication is crucial for keeping everything on track. And let's be real, most organizations could improve on that. So poor communication between teams. All right. This is one that I hear a lot, especially as a development manager. Developers generally hate meetings, especially the ones that could have been in an email. In fact, I'll bet a developer's favorite word is asynchronous. Endless meetings eat up valuable coding time, and what's worse, they often don't lead to actionable insights. Give us back our time and you'll see productivity soar. Just a heads up for all you managers out there, which includes me, developers don't need more check-ins, they need more uninterrupted time. And this goes to why developers hate endless meetings. This is part of the reason why I prefer working remote, because I feel like a lot of those unnecessary meetings don't happen as often, or if it's one that you can kind of, that you only need to be in for part of, you can multitask. But again, that's usually against the rules. But you know what I mean. Now, next one. When developers feel stagnant, it's a surefire way to feel disengaged. Many devs feel they're stuck doing the same repetitive tasks without any opportunity to grow their skills or advance in their careers. And no, offering free pizza once a month doesn't count as growth. That's the wrong kind of growth. It's the growth out. They want to grow mentally. Developers want to learn, evolve, and take on big challenges. When that doesn't happen, they either leave or mentally check out and quietly quit. Make sure to invest in your developers, or don't be surprised when they start looking elsewhere. So make sure your developers have growth opportunities. Now, here's another big one: work-life balance, or the lack of it. Crunch time, late nights, weekends, work are almost a norm in the software world, and developers are getting tired of it. So can I get you to come in on Saturday, right? Like Office Space, right? Sure, there are tight deadlines, but expecting people to constantly sacrifice their personal time will lead to burnout faster than you can say debug. Companies need to respect the fact that developers are humans, not code machines. All right, so poor work-life balance is another common complaint I hear. Next one, developers don't want to be micromanaged. The best coders thrive when they have the freedom to approach a problem in their own way. Constant oversight and nitpicking don't just slow things down, they destroy creativity. If you want to demotivate a developer, stand over their shoulder and question every line of code. A little trust goes a long ways in boosting with morale and productivity. So be careful on the lack of autonomy. Next, if you're making developers work on ancient, tangled mess of spaghetti code, don't be shocked when they complain. Outdated code bases are often slow, buggy, and hard to maintain, and they make developers want to scream. We all get it. Legacy systems are hard to replace, but at least make incremental updates. Give your devs the tools they need to work efficiently, and you'll see far fewer complaints. So outdated code bases are definitely one of these complaints. Now, let's be real for a second. And this is our last one here. Software development is stressful sometimes. And the compensation, can sometimes you feel like you're not compensated enough for some of the mental tolls of some of the complaints that we've talked about. But that being said, developers are paid on average of twice of what the normal median average is. But developers are expected to be problem solvers, innovators, and troubleshooters. But sometimes the lack of respect doesn't always match with that. So when you factor in long hours and unrealistic deadlines and constant changes, sometimes you can imagine why a developer might feel undervalued. So just keep your developers happy, and it'll keep your product happy. Now, do you think that I misspoke on some of these? Do you agree? Do you disagree? I love having a great, healthy discussion. So make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, and leave me a comment down below, even if nothing else, just to say hi. Here at Startup Hack, we love to train software developers in our licensed coding boot camps and to build custom software solutions for companies. So reach out, because we'd love to help. Hit the link down below, or check out startuphack.com/Spencer, or hit me up at Spencer@startuphack.com, and we'll catch you guys next time. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, because we bring you lots of great tutorials and tips that every developer should know. See you next time.